All right, traders, what a day. In this video, I'm going to show you how to keep your cool, okay? The volatility has been blowing up these markets over the last 2 days. I think the Dow was down 500 points today. We basically have plunged 100 points on the S&P in 24 hours. And guys, in spite of all that, I am going to show you how a simple trend line for all you patient traders out there, okay? I'm going to show you how a simple trend line nailed the absolute low in today's sell-off. Let's do it. All right, traders, what's happening? It's Mark here at DinoTrading.com. Hope you had an interesting trading day today, man. As you can see by the scoreboard here, look at this. We are red across the board, although the Russell looks like it's just about to get into the green territory. I mean, it's been clawing back all day, but for the most part, the two big indices, the S&P and the Dow, just got destroyed today. All right, and if we head over to the charts, you can see that quite clearly reflected in today's session. In fact, let me just go ahead and timestamp the start of the session, which would be right over there. I mean, you just look at this, man. Just utter carnage. 60, 70 point plunge in the S&P, 500 point plunge in the Dow, right? Listen, guys, if you were lucky enough to be short going into the market today, hats off to you. Hopefully you were able to take profits quickly, though, because I'm going to show you right now, guys, for those of you who are like me, all right, and you were waiting for the snapback, right, waiting to carefully catch that low, what I'm going to show you here in this video, man, is going to blow your mind, because what I'm going to show you is how to combine a trend line with a wedge pattern, okay? And guys, I promise you, you're going to be absolutely blown away when you see how effective it can be to combine elements of a trend line and elements of a wedge into your own trading. Okay, and don't just take my word for it. Let's just go ahead and show you the good stuff. All right, so first thing we got to do, guys, in order for me to show this to you and in order for you to follow along at home, all right, I would love it if you guys follow along with this. Get to a side-by-side view like this, right? What's the advantage of having your chart set up side by side? Well, number one, this is what I like to call micro trading, okay? You have what I like to call a master chart and a slave chart. Okay, it's been a while since I did one of these side-by-sides, but I'm telling you guys, these are a really effective way to organize your trading and approach your technical analysis from a top-down. Okay, meaning that you always want to have a higher time frame to kind of get the direction right, make your decisions on the higher time frame, what I call the master chart, and you want to have a slave chart or a much, much smaller time frame chart to execute on, right? To get those small stops, very low risk setups within context of whatever the master chart is telling you. Does that make sense? Right? So when I started out this video, I showed you the trend line. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate the trend line into the slave chart. Watch me do that, guys. It is ultra simple. I'm going to double left click on the trendline drawing object. I'm going to hit this drop down box and I'm going to make it say all charts. Then I'm going to hit OK, and kaboom, did you see that? It automatically drew the master trend line into the slave chart. Does that make sense, guys? So this now is our starting point. Make sense? So now I actually don't even need the master chart anymore. All I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and maximize the slave chart just like this, so it takes up the whole screen. Okay? So now let me walk you through my thought process, guys, on what I was doing today. All right? I am a firm believer in price action and respecting the market action. Okay? Now, on the flip side of that, I respect the sell-off, right? I think sell-offs in any market are healthy. You got to get rid of some of that froth, that excess speculation. And listen, guys, there are many times, and you've seen this, there are many times where you think a sell-off is going to keep going, only to have it just snap back right in your face, right? So my thought process today was interesting because if you look at the right side of this, right, the y-axis here, you can see that the S&P was really bouncing off the 4,100 level, right? This was just kind of a gut feeling, right? I felt like we were going to have, a really nice bounce if the market ever touched 4,100. And keep in mind, we were at 4,200 yesterday, right? We were 100 points higher. So this was the reason that I was kind of playing it to the bullish side today. And watch this, okay? So this is exactly what I was doing today. I had drawn the master trend line into my slave chart exactly as you see, okay? And what I decided to do was also load up the wedge. You guys remember this from, I think this was last week's video. Posted a pretty nice video on how to draw wedge patterns. I hope you guys extracted some value out of that wedge pattern video. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and check that video out. It's pretty amazing. There's nothing in the world like wedge patterns. They work almost to perfection, okay? And I was thinking today, what do I want to do to filter out a lot of the false trades? And I've always felt that wedge patterns do a great job of filtering out the noise, okay? So again, let me walk you through my thought process. Number one, as you can see back here, I drew this trend line. I was playing it to the long side today. And again, I don't know for sure if the market was going to rally today. Nobody knows, right? For all I know, we could have kept on selling off today, okay? All you can do is have a theory and make a decision on what direction you want to play it and execute accordingly, all right? So today, I was basically playing it from the long side. And I wanted to slap on this wedge patterns here to see if it can really isolate for me good low-risk setups, all right? So watch this. I'm going to hit OK right now. And look at this, folks. Just look at this chart for a second here, all right? Can you see all these yellow boxes? All right, those are wedges, okay? Those are areas where a wedge was formed. And here's what I realized today, guys. When you're using wedge patterns, okay, when you use them in conjunction with a higher time frame, remember this green stripe here that you see, this is the master trend line from the master chart. You already know that, right? You saw me pop it onto the chart a few moments ago. Now, look at what happens to the right of the trend line, right? You get a lot of bars, you get a lot of different signals. And yeah, I suppose you could draw trend lines and stuff, nothing wrong with that. But can you see how, if you were using wedge patterns today, can you see how the wedge absolutely nailed the rally in the S&P 500 today, right? And even more important, all right, I want to draw your attention to this, guys, and please try to follow along with what I'm about to say next. This is going to transform your trading. Watch this, all right? If I scroll to the left, all right, you're going to see some wedges, right? You're going to see some bullish wedges. But it's underneath the master trend line. So when you combine, right? When you combine a higher time frame trend line with a wedge, you know what that does for you? That actually keeps you out of all of these false wedge signals. Does that make sense, guys? Right? Because without this trend line, right, if I move this trend line over here, every one of these yellow boxes, right, you would think all of those yellow boxes are valid bullish trades. And almost every one of them ended up being a loser, right? But when you put a master trend line on top of the price action, what that does is eliminates all of these, what I call false signals. And now you only pay attention to the good signals. Make sense? And let me just zoom in some more so you can really see these yellow boxes here. Okay, so what's the takeaway from watching this video, guys? Number one, if you haven't already seen my video on wedge patterns, please watch it. I think it's going to transform your trading on day one. And number two, I feel like, this is something I discovered purely by accident. I was just fooling around today, and I could not believe how successful this turned out to be today. Now, granted, a lot of things had to go right. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, man, this is how the play unfolded, right? The wedge broke. There was a bullish signal right here. Your stop gets placed right underneath the wedge right there. Okay, it's always important to have your stop. So here's your entry, here's your stop, and look at this thing just rip. Just completely rip straight up, right? I mean, this thing was a huge winner just 1 hour later. Makes sense, guys? So listen, that'll do it for this video recap today, guys. However you played it today, long or short, you know, bulls make money, bears make money. But what I really wanted to show you was the incredibly awesome power of combining different techniques into the same chart, right? Trend lines and wedge patterns working in conjunction with each other. Guys, I'm telling you, you cannot beat it. Okay, so listen, guys, if you'd like to see a demo on trend lines or wedge patterns, feel free to get in touch. Emails below, phone numbers below. Happy to hook you up with a free one-on-one demo, all right? Anytime. Guys, thanks for watching this video. See you on the next trade.